This is Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide. And I'm here to bring you this week's report of California companies that will be laying off significant amount of workforce where we received and processed their notice between October 24th and November 13th. Now, before I ask you to like, share, comment, subscribe to this channel, I want to let you know why this is important that I share this information every day. Because I'm sure you're asking, like, what does this have to do with mortgage and real estate? I don't get it. Well, many years ago, I was getting ready to purchase a piece of property. I was super excited. Okay. I was getting ready to buy a piece of property. The seller was excited. They were getting ready to get the proceeds from the sale of their property. I had signed my loan documents and I go to work hours later and I find out that myself and 399 other people were getting laid off that day. Uh-oh. You can only imagine how I was feeling. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a job. I can't buy this house. I get on the phone. I call my mortgage broker at the time. I call my real estate broker at the time. I'm like, look, I don't have a job. You can't fund this loan. I faxed over the severance paperwork that I got. Well, just the letter that stated that I was being laid off. And I was like, you guys can't fund this loan. Now, if you've ever purchased a piece of property, once you sign those loan documents, there's no cancellation. There's no rescission period. Okay. However, when you refinance, you got 3 days to think about it. You sign those loan documents on a purchase, there's no cancellation. Now, thankfully, I was able to unravel that transaction because I provided proof that I didn't have a job. And usually a funder, they will verify your employment just before they hit the button. So anyways, thankfully, I was able to unravel the transaction. However, I lost money in the process. Had I known that there was a possibility that I might get laid off, I probably wouldn't have gone forward with purchasing a property, at least not at that time, right? I lost my down payment. I lost money that I pay for inspections, termite inspection, home inspection, the appraiser to come out and appraise the property, all those things. And so there's two reasons why I share this information every single week. One is to let you know that what would you do differently, just to warn you, right? Because what would you do differently if you thought there was a possibility that you might get laid off? Would you not go on that shopping spree, not go on that lavish vacation, not buy that new house, new car? What would you do differently? Would you dust off your resume, update it, kind of put fillers out there, see if there's anybody that is hiring in your field? Would you start that new company, write that new book? What would you do differently if there was a possibility that you might get laid off? And then the second reason why I share this information is I want you to know you don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job. I don't care if you're experiencing a financial hardship, whether it's due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff. There are options available for you, but they're not automatic. So that's why you need to call me. Okay, you just need to pick up the phone and call me. If you are experiencing a loss of income, no matter if it's due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, you need to pick up the phone and dial 714-914-7254. Now, I'm going to go over some companies. I was out a couple of weeks, so I am playing catch up. We have about 63 entries. I let you know the date, the name of the company that's laying off, the date, how many they're laying off, whether the layoff is permanent or temporary, or if it's a closure, and then I also give you the address. Okay, I'm going to give you these companies in alphabetical order. So if I pass the letter that your company starts with, but you were like, yeah, man, I kind of heard whispers that my company might be laying off, you may want to check the other videos. I may have covered it already. Okay. And then I don't want you to forget, if you found yourself in this place, maybe you don't have to listen to this list. Maybe you just need to like the video and share it with somebody else because you're like, I'm already facing a financial hardship. Then I want you to pick up the phone and dial 714-914-7254. Feel free to visit my website at modifymenow.com, but the best way to reach out to me is to give me a call. So let me get started because the list is it's quite long, but we'll get through it, right? Because I am here to serve and to help you. Okay, so January 25th, we have Catch Steak is laying off, and I wonder, oh, I know why they're number one. So Catch Steak is kind of out of order because their parent company is 8490 Hospitality LLC, which is also known as Catch Steak, okay? They are closing permanently on January 1st. They're laying off 110 people at 650 North La Cienega Boulevard in Los Angeles. Hopefully I'm not going to get too tongue-tied this week. So here we go. December 31st, Advanced Systems is laying off permanently 92 people at 1600 Amphitheater Parkway in Mountain View. December 31st, Advanced Systems is laying off permanently one person at 100 Bayview Drive in Mountain View. You have December 31st, Advanced Systems Group is laying off permanently one person at 1160 Bordeaux Drive in Sunnyvale. December 27th, Amazon is laying off permanently 57 people at 1860 Barber Lane in Milpitas. You have January 13th, AMD Inc. is laying off permanently 57 people at 2485 Augustine Drive in Santa Clara. We have January 1st, Astellas Gene Therapies is laying off permanently 10 people at 534 Eccles Avenue in South San Francisco. You have January 9th, BP Corporation North America closing permanently. They're laying off 5 people at 505 Howard Street, second floor in San Francisco. December 31st, California Human Development closing permanently. They're laying off 7 people at 2895 TP Drive in Stockton. You have January 12th, California Institute of Technology is laying off permanently 328 people at 800 Oak Drive in La Canada in Flintridge. December 31st, Cattleman's Restaurant is laying off permanently 63 people at 5012 Petaluma Boulevard in North Petaluma. January 3rd, City National Bank laying off permanently 10 people at 350 South Grand Avenue in Los Angeles. You have January 3rd, City National Bank is laying off permanently one person at 555 South Flower Street in Los Angeles. You have January 10th, City National Bank is laying off permanently 8 people at 350 South Grand Avenue in Los Angeles. You have January 8th, Clark Pacific laying off permanently 88 people at 9367 Holly Road in Adelanto. December 31st, Cremac, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, Tech is laying off permanently 88 people at 369 Mayor Circle in Corona. You have December 31st, Cremac Tech is laying off 27 people at 390 B Meyer Circle in Corona. December 31st, DHL Supply Chain is laying off permanently 163 people at 6551 West Scott Road in Tracy. January 6th, Klinger in Silicon Valley Inc. is closing permanently, laying off 27 people at 40969 Encyclopedia Circle in Fremont. December 6th, Equinix is laying off permanently 87 people at Lagoon Drive in Redwood City. We have December 31st, Fig Leasing Company is a subsidiary of Farmers Group is laying off permanently 56 people at 19191 South Vermont Avenue in Torrance. You also have December 31st, Fig Leasing Company is a subsidiary of Farmers Group is laying off permanently 130 people at 2255 North Ontario Street in Burbank. December 30th, FM Restaurants Headquarters, also known as Salida Tacos and Margaritas, is closing permanently, laying off 54 people at One Pine Avenue in Long Beach. December 31st, Full Steam Staffing laying off permanently 44 people at 14425 Yorba Avenue in Chino. March 14th, Gilead Sciences Inc. is laying off permanently 104 people at 333 Lakeside Drive in Foster City. We have December 27th, Gold Bond Building Products is closing permanently. They're laying off 50 people at 1850 Pier B Street in Long Beach. December 31st, GXO Logistics Supply Chain is laying off permanently 231 people at 3520 Cactus Avenue in Bloomington. You have December 31st, Haemonetics Corporation closing permanently, laying off 75 people at 1630 West Industrial Park in Covina. December 30th, Hogan Personnel is laying off permanently 5 people at 9615 Cherry Avenue in Fontana. You have December 30th, Hogan Services Inc. is laying off permanently 1 person at 9615 Cherry Avenue in Fontana. January 2nd, Host International Inc. laying off permanently 151 people at 1 World Way in Los Angeles. January 13th, HSNI LLC is closing permanently. They're laying off 87 people at 13423 Santa Ana Avenue in Fontana. January 1st, Hunt and Sons. Now, I'm going to pause right there. These next entries are for Hunt and Sons. They have multiple locations and they're laying off all on January 1st. 2025 is around the corner. So just after, let's think about this. Just after, some people are getting laid off right after Christmas, just before the holidays. Some are getting laid off right after the new year or on the new year in this case. And so it is important. I pause to say that if you are experiencing a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, you don't have to lose your house because you lost your job. I give you this warning because if there's a possibility, you may want to get your affairs in order, right? There are temporary options like a forbearance plan, a repayment plan, but there's more permanent options. You may want to refinance, consolidate some bills, do a loan modification. There are a plethora of options for you, but they're not automatic. You got to pick up the phone and call me, okay? So I just want to let you know, and then hang tight because I'm going to show you a testimony of how I was able to help one of my clients. I have a plethora of them where I was able to help many, many people. Okay, and so I want to make sure I share that information with you. Okay, so here we go. January 1st, 2025, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 8 people at 3050 Wilbur Avenue in Antioch. You have January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off 3 people at 2891 Mosquito Road in Placerville. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 1 person at 2249 Atwater Boulevard in Atwater. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 3 people at 746 Pool Station Road in San Andreas. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 3 people at 13079 Sanguinetti Road in Sonora. You got January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 10 people at 310 North Avenue in Chico. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 3 people at 720 South Auburn Street in Grass Valley. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 4 people at 188 Crescent Street in Quincy. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 7 people at 4990 Mountain Lakes Boulevard in Reading. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 3 people at 245 Garden Street in Willows. You have January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 24 people at 5725 Alder Avenue in Sacramento. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 2 people at 6001 Rossi Lane in Gilroy. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 23 people at 720 B Street in Modesto. January 1st, Hunt and Sons laying off permanently 1 person at 746 Merced Street in Newman. You have January 2nd, IPG Media Brands laying off permanently 103 people at 1840 Century Park East in Los Angeles. January 2nd, Ojai Valley Inn is laying off temporarily. So I do want to point that out. This is not a permanent layoff. They're laying off temporarily 753 people at 905 Country Club Road in Ojai. January 31st, Old Castle Building Envelope is closing permanently. They're laying off 113 people at Ferguson Drive in Los Angeles. December 31st, Polaris Specialty Pharmacy is closing permanently. They're laying off 98 people at 410 Clover Leaf Drive in Baldwin Park. January 10th, Reyes Coca-Cola Bottling is closing permanently, laying off 101 people at 1733 Morgan Road, Suite 200 in Modesto. December 31st, Sodexo closing permanently, laying off 59 people at 555 East Hardy Street in Inglewood. January 6th, Straight Smile LLC, also known as Bite, is laying off permanently 72 people at 1556 20th Street in Santa Monica. January 3rd, Terre de Solil, I'm butchering this name, bear with me, Albergue de Solil, hopefully I got that correct. They're laying off temporarily, so this is a good thing. They'll be able to go back to work. They're laying off temporarily 217 people at 180 Rutherford Hill Road in Rutherford. January 15th, TGH Employees, also known as the Highlight Room, is closing permanently. 134 people will be laid off at 6417 Selma Avenue in Los Angeles. December 31st, Trade Mango Solutions, known as Article, is laying off permanently 14 people at 2458 Corsair Boulevard in Hayward. Then you have on January 12th, Trade Mango Solutions, also known as Article, they're laying off an additional 24 people at 1380 Charles Willard Street in Carson. January 3rd, Trophy Universal City Group, also known as Universal City Nissan, is closing permanently, laying off 86 people at 3550 Cahuenga Boulevard West in Los Angeles. December 23rd, 12 Benefit Corporation laying off permanently 86 people at 600 Bancroft Way, Suite H in Berkeley. December 23rd, 12 Benefit Corporation laying off permanently 8 people at 1135 Atlantic Avenue in Alameda. Almost done. January 3rd, Visa is laying off permanently 65 people at 300 Tony Stone Crossing in San Francisco. You have January 3rd, Visa is laying off permanently 26 people at 900 Metro Center Boulevard in Foster City. And January 13th, Zilnex Inc. is laying off permanently 72 people at 2100 Logic Drive in San Jose. So that's the end of our list of California companies that will be laying off a significant amount of workforce where we received and processed their notice between October 24th and November 13th. So I promised you that I would share with you what I was able to help a client get. Hold on, let me share my screen here. We are going to share this loan modification I was able to help my client obtain. You should be able to see my screen. And so here, this was a client that originally, originally they had GMAC Mortgage. That company is no longer around, but I was able to modify them in the process. Their loan got transferred to Ocwen. And what I was able to do when they came to me, their previous mortgage payment was $300. Do I have this right here? Oh, yeah. Their previous mortgage was $383.58. but that only was principal and interest. It had nothing to do with their taxes. It had nothing to do with their insurance. And their interest rate, if you look here, I highlighted their interest rate was 6%. Okay. I came in, I was able to get their payment modified, and I got their payment, their modified payment, to $328.37. Did you hear me? I modified their mortgage payment to $328.37. Now, this included principal and interest, okay? And their interest rate, I got it down to 4%. So I actually saved them over $600 a month. This is for a second. I believe this was a second mortgage, but every penny helps. I know I modified their first. This was their second mortgage. I wanted to share this one because a lot of people think that nothing can happen with their seconds. They have a second mortgage. They can only modify their first and not their second, and that is just not true. So again, if you're experiencing a loss of income due to a death, divorce, illness, injury, or layoff, look, I want you to know you don't have to lose your house just because you lost your job or you're facing a financial hardship. I need you to pick up the phone and dial 714-914-7254. Now, I'm Lacy Robertson, the hardest working woman in mortgage and real estate nationwide. I look forward to working with you and for you. And until then, I want you to have a blessed day. Bye-bye.